Hey guys, Chuck here with X Mods. So had another trip out, and this time I went to Sand Hollow, Utah. Did a lot of duning. Didn't have any problems. Um, Probably put a solid 150 miles in the dunes. I drove nonstop. I mean, it was 100 and man, 105, 106 degrees. I was just flying. I went through all the trails, all the dunes. Had an absolute blast. This is really where the long travel kit or the mid travel kit really shines. It's just when you can really open it up, you feel the whoops and the dunes and all that. So I got a problem in the rocks though. So this is the second time I went into Moab and I broke a couple axles. Now, I didn't break any axles this time. I left my rear sway bar links on. Now, with my portal unit, I never did. I actually cut out my rear sway bar at the actual bar itself because I didn't want to move the transmission. So I had no sway bars for literally 5 or 6 thousand miles ever. Never broke an axle. Never broke a tie. I did bend a tie rod once, but that was after I did the shock upgrade. I drove probably 15 to 18 miles an hour faster through my normal terrain here, and I hit a rut very hard, and I ended up bending a tie rod. Came home, swapped it out. I had a spare. No big deal. Never did it again. So going back to the long travel set, the mid travel setup, um, you know, I don't know, guys. I didn't break an axle, but I did bend a tie rod. So I'll be honest. I'm really happy I made it back to camp. I was pretty deep in the hills. I went with a local that kind of showed me around, and we took a little break. And I'm staring at my rig, and I go, "That wheel looks funny." So I look down, and sure enough, my tie rod extension is bent. Um, so I go, "Well, there's my trip. That my trip's over because nobody carries these extensions." Um, I never thought about bringing a spare. I even had a member. He posted on the link. He uh, he broke one. So he was stranded. He had to get a ride back to his dealership or the guy that did his mid travel kit, Damien. And he was able to do a fix out there, drive it back. I didn't have that luxury. Even though HCR was at the event, Super ATV was there. They don't stock these things. So I was pretty much hosed. Um, and I knew that. So I was able to, believe it or not, it held together for 15 miles. So the first mile or so, I had a rock crawl out of there, and it did hold together. I never broke it. It only stayed bent. Obviously, I took it really easy, and I was able to get out of there. So yeah, this is a problem. I'm starting to see these bend more and more. Um, and it doesn't really matter if it's 33s or 35s, guys. It's you, this is a factory one, right? This is your extension piece. This is literally designed to bend and break so that you don't hurt your steering rack. I get it. It makes logical sense. Have a sacrificial part so that you don't lose a $3,500 steering rack. I absolutely understand the theory, and I've always preached that until now. I'm not being wishy-washy, but I've owned mid-travel, long travel kits before. I never had these kind of problems. Now, I had Heim joint extensions, solid one piece with your normal tie rod ends. I never had a problem. So I never lost a steering rack. I did swap out my ball joints from time to time just because when you have all that kind of weight on the end of these things, it does wear them out. So now I'm gonna talk about portals. Yeah, I know. I talk a lot about portals and mid travel. It's my thing, guys. It's really honestly the rest of the rig is fine. The shocks are fine. The axles are fine. If I'll circle around that. I've got a lot of experience with portals, and I'm gaining a lot of experience with mid travels. So portals, again, I never had any failures ever. In thousands of miles, never had a failure. This is actually what you would get when you get a portal unit, just your factory inner and outer tie rod. Again, I bent one of these, one in thousands of miles, and that was it. I swapped out my ball joints or my tie rod ends a couple times because this little thing is pretty weak, especially for a 35-inch tire. Um, but honestly, at the end of the day, I probably only went through a couple of them, and I drive very aggressively. I jump it, I slide it around. For a 4,000-pound machine, I put it through its test. And the more I'm testing, the more I'm finding out more and more weak points with the mid travel versus portals. Since portals use a factory inner and outer tie rod, it doesn't seem it hasn't failed me, and I take it to the same places. So there's no, well, you're not taking it to Moab. You're not taking it to Sand Hollow where there's boulders. You're not taking it to the mat doing this. I'm taking it everywhere. I'm taking it to Glamis, Dumont. I'm taking it to um, Utah, rock crawling. I take it to the same places with the same tires, with the same setup. This is a true, yeah, I would say this is a true apples to apples. My old machine was heavier, 4,300 pounds. This is 3,900. So I'm within a few hundred pounds. So the fact that this is lighter should actually mean that these components should be stronger. It's not. So I'm suggesting that if you guys want to go with a mid-travel kit, here's how you do it. You leave your sway bar links on, at least on the rear. I haven't had a problem with the fronts being disconnected yet. So I'm pretty sure that as long as you leave the rears on a mid-travel kit, then your axles won't be breaking. I haven't had any problems ever since I left it on, so I'm sure you'll be fine. If I start breaking more axles, I will let you guys know. And even though I preached it before, I'd go and swap these out for a heavy duty set. There's only a couple manufacturers out there that are doing it. So, JrI, when you order their kit, they offer the heavy duty one. It's one piece. It's got a Heim joint in the middle. I think it's called a Heim joint. And it's literally the same thing, except it's one piece. You're not going to break it. You could probably bend it if you hit it at the right angle, but in reality, I doubt it. I think you take out a steering rack before you took out one of theirs. Um, I'm pretty sure HCR is coming out with one as well. And there's two other manufacturers that I talked to at the show in Sand Hollow. They're both developing heavy-duty tie rods for these mid-travel kits. It's in the works. And if there's companies already out there, go ahead and speak up. You're more than welcome to. It's going to be a high-demand item for a mid-travel, long-travel kit for the Xpedition. 100%. This machine weighs 2 tons, 4,000 pounds. And when you put a 35-inch tire on it, you need more stability, or strength on your steering components. Heavy-duty steering rack, I can only imagine that's coming soon. So I would definitely keep an eye out on the forums and all that. And if I hear one, I'm definitely going to be the first guy to drive across the country to get it put on this rig. I haven't had a problem, but I've seen a lot of people lose them, and they're always on back order. I don't get that at all. Everything's on back order. Steering rack's on back order. My buddy broke a windshield on his Xpedition. It's on back order. He can't get a custom one because it's on, I don't know. It's really weird. So, circling back, all in all, you got to do a lot more to a mid-travel kit than you do a portal unit. 100%. I didn't do anything to my portal unit. I bought S3 forward control arms, and that was it. Everything else stayed stock, bone stock. All the axles stayed stock. The sway bars were gone. The ball joints, the tie rod ends, all that stuff stayed stock. After I lost my initial set of ball joints, I went with heavy duty ones, but that was like after thousands of miles. So I didn't do anything. I bought a portal kit. I bought the S3 forward control arms, and I was done. I had no more issues. I had all my low end torque. It made it easier to rock climb. This thing's so hard to rock climb, guys. It needs gear reduction bad. if I want to continue doing what I'm going to do. Um, I don't think I am. I think I'm actually going to change my driving habits a little bit. I don't think I want to put myself in compromising situations where I'm bending and breaking stuff. I am pushing a little bit harder on this mid-travel kit than I did with my portal as far as the boulder stuff, but not by much. And with how many failures I've had, I don't know if I want to keep pushing it. You know what I mean? Um, Again, there's a lot of time and money effort that has gone into this whole setup. And I think I'm almost there as far as figuring out how to make a long travel kit, mid travel kit, uh, bulletproof, at least short term. The problem is, I've only had it for a month and a half, and I've only been able to rack up maybe 1,500 miles on this kit. And in 1,500 miles, I've lost 3 axles. I've been a tie rod, and when you compare that to a portal unit, I had 6,000 miles, and I've been a tie rod. Never lost an. I lost 1 axle, but that's neither here nor there, because that was after like 5,000 miles. So I don't know. It's an interesting situation that I'm kind of going through right now. I am happy that I can share it with you. Uh, Again, the ride quality is the same. So I'm almost thinking that depending on the kit you buy. So I had a great conversation with the guys at JrI. Now, one thing I like about JrI compared to HCR is they come out, they don't do extensions on the tie rod ends. So they they don't come out with extensions. So they give you the one piece tie rod, and which is significantly stronger than the extension piece. HCR may be doing this already. I don't know. I didn't go to their website. So that's a huge upgrade right there. Um, the welds seem to be more of them. I don't know if that makes it stronger or weaker. I don't know. It does look like it's built stronger and better, but I haven't had any structural issues with my HCR. So, and I've been jumping it, running it, 35, 35-inch tires. So I haven't had any structural issues. Um, they run their sway bar links as well. Everybody runs sway bar links that I ran into. So I've been to Moab, tons of people out there. Everybody with the mid travel, long travel kit is running their sway bar links. So maybe I'm creating a situation. Maybe I'm that one guy that says, I want to take off my sway bar links to add articulation, and maybe I'm creating the situation. I don't know, but I did notice that JrI had all their sway bar links on. Talked to XTC Chris, and he had his sway bar links on. SDI, the shock manufacturer, they have their sway. Everybody's got their sway bar links on. It's very interesting. So I'm gonna say if you do a mid travel, just plan on leaving on your sway bar links, for sure. I think if you don't, you're gonna have issues. Make sure you upgrade your tie rods right away. Um, Again, I've always been a fan of sacrificial parts. I didn't do it. I don't even know what I did. I was just crawling through stuff. I don't even remember hitting anything. So I have no idea how I bent this thing at all. I wasn't jumping it. I was babying the thing. I don't, I don't baby it often, but when I rock climb, I do. And it just doesn't have that low end torque anymore. I lost all that low end torque when I went to when I added the 35s. But you need the 35s for the ground clearance. So, there's pros and cons. I would say if you're a brake, yeah. I mean, definitely my conclusion is this. If you're into rock crawling and all that, you need the ground clearance, man, do portals. Mid travel, long travel kits are just not. They're so hard on the machine. I have to push this so hard to do stuff in the exact same environment um, that I did with portals with relative ease. Um, that being said, I'm having a lot more fun with the whole go fast thing. I got a lot of wide open desert, lots of dunes, lots of ruts. The ride quality, I think the ride quality is better in a mid-travel, long-travel kit. The It's a lot lighter. It's easier to turn, easier to steer. Um, so if you're a go faster, um, and and you really want to stay above the ground and you want to be just getting after it, there's nothing better than mid travel, long travel kit at all. Um, and I will say this, and I'm not biased to anybody. Yes, I have an ACR kit. Yes, I've talked to the guys at JrI, great dudes. Um, I am not a fan of Super ATV stuff. As far as their long travel kits, it's because it's tubular. It looks too factory. I just don't like it aesthetically. Functionality, I've heard a lot of good things. It does the job and it does it well. So, um, but everybody's leaving their sway bar links on. So, I'm not really comparing apples to apples. Nobody else seems to be taking off those sway bar links. So, if you're going rock crawling and you do a lot of it and you're going to do 35s, man, put on portals. You won't regret it. You're not going to have any failures. I put my other machine, through every environment with 100, I mean, so much success. It's crazy. Where I put this through the same stuff and I had one failure after another, after another, after another with the same driving style and the same environment. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to swap out these tie rods for some heavy duty ones. I'm going to have Dan do some shock work with the suspension, and I'm going to keep tweaking it. I don't know. Maybe I can make it a boulder worthy rig. I just don't know. I think that the low end torque's going to hold me back, though. I really do. I'm going to swap out my tie rod links today, get everything back together, swap out my belt. I did smoke my belt really bad, so my belt's toast. Uh, and then I'm going to go play in the mountains today. Just just kind of see how it feels with the new tie rod links. Um, they're not out yet, so I'll just kind of tell you guys a little bit about them once I've tested them and felt them around, see how they do, see if the steering's more restrictive. I doubt it. I think it's going to be just fine. So Sand Hollow was a great place. It was really awesome meeting the guys at JrI. Really cool meeting Chris with XTC. Both of them have agreed to join the page at Polaris Xpedition Mods on Facebook and give X Mods a discount code. So if you're looking for a JrI mid-travel kit, go to the Facebook page, click under the feature tab, and that's where all my supporting manufacturers are. And they already have a code. Chris is going to come up with one at XTC. But if you give XTC a call, they'll tell them you want the X Mods discount. And then also when you click under the feature tab, you're going to see all the manufacturers that support the page. So I've got a lot of manufacturers on there that will give X Mods a code. And if you want to deal directly with the manufacturer and not a third party, then that's one of the best ways to do it. We're the only Facebook group that these guys are doing it on, as far as I know, and it's kind of cool, you know. So go to Polaris Xpedition Mods unless you're watching this video on Facebook. I'm gonna always post it up to YouTube first, and then I'm gonna post it onto Facebook a week later, just to kind of help YouTube grow a little bit. And then so go to the Facebook, go to the feature tabs, and it breaks down all the manufacturers, all the manufacturer codes for all the discounts and stuff like that. Um, I've kind of thought about doing an X Mods retail store where you could just go to one place and doing all that. Let me know what you think about that. I don't know if I really want to create a business out of this. Right now, I'm just a hobbyist that has built relationships with manufacturers, and we both have skin in the game. So they're giving up something, I'm giving up something, and if I turn it into a business, this stuff's never going to change. I'm still going to talk about HCR supports me. I'm still going to tell you guys the truth. You know what I mean? Um, they came down, they helped me out with the kit. I'm obviously not throwing them under the bus, but I am going to be honest about my experience. Same with the axles, guys. No matter what, if I'm not having success with something, I'm going to tell you guys, even if it's from a sponsor. I mean, I'm going to always tell you guys the truth. If it ain't working, it ain't working. And right now, the HCR setup isn't working for me. Um, I'm upgrading the tie rods today. I have to leave my sway bar links on, or else I will break my axle. 100% guaranteed. I've tested it. I tested it. I tested it. If I want to break an axle, I take off my sway bar links. Full articulation, under torque and pressure, at an incline and an angle, I will break an axle almost 100% of the time. So I got to leave the sway bar links in. Keep that in mind when you're choosing a setup. I also believe this to be true. I don't know if it's true with JrI. They seem to share the same geometry. I did order a set of their axles. They use Demon. So I'm going to get a set of axles from Demon, and then I'm going to kind of compare them to the Rhino 2.0s. And if they're the same length and all the measurements are the same, they're going to share the same geometry, which means you're going to run into the same issues, possibly. I haven't seen anybody post anything about JrI yet. So if you've got JrI mid-travel kit, please write up a post. Let us know your feedback. Are you running 33s, 35s? Do you have sway bar links on? What is your environment? Are you in Tennessee in the mud? Are you in rock crawling? Are you in the dunes? What kind of riding are you doing? What I want to do, same with HTR. Same with HTR. I'd love to get your guys' feedback on, yeah, I'm running 35s and all this, and I'm not having problems, or I'm having the same problem. Because eventually, here's what's going to happen. HCR is going to have to make a change. Um, I don't think JrI is going to have any issues. Their components seem to be, especially the tie rods, are built way better. They're using what I would believe as a more higher end axle than the Rhino 2.0s. I don't know though. I got to look at it. I got to put it on my hands and then run the crap out of it in the desert. And then do the articulation thing and just put it through its paces. I don't mind tearing my machine apart, fixing it, put it back together. What I do mind is breaking down in the middle of the desert or in the boulders and then trying to do repair, especially if they know something else is wrong. So if they won't do it, I'll figure it out. So remember, like, share, join the Facebook. There's a lot of content on Facebook, guys. But I'll always post the videos to YouTube first, and then everything's going to kind of bleed over to Facebook as a follow-up. We got almost 8,000 members on Facebook and 400 or so on YouTube. So I do want to build up the YouTube channel a little bit, and I think that they do work good with each other. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. God bless, and go get them.